Hi, this is John with The Evolving World. Today I'm doing a video on a 2017 Honda Clarity fuel cell vehicle. There's actually three variants of this car. There's actually an all-electric version, and there's a hybrid version, and then there's also this one, which is a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. So on a trip to California recently, I had the opportunity to test drive this car, and now I will share my impressions with you. First, I'd like to give out a special thanks to Anderson Honda of Palo Alto, California, for providing the vehicle in today's video. This is one of 12 dealerships that are authorized to sell the vehicle in California. This is a second generation Clarity. There was a first generation car was available between 2008 and 2015. They only leased 46 of those in the US and probably approximately the same amount in Japan and Europe. So that first generation car was definitely very, very limited. This model right here promises to be more available, a little bit more mainstream. Actually, just a couple days earlier, I got a chance to drive a Toyota Mirai, which is another hydrogen-powered car, and so it was kind of interesting comparing those two cars. It's probably a better way to describe it because they are very similar. I mean, very, very similar. I don't really want to sound redundant if I start talking about this car because it really does operate the same way as the other one does. I mean, the difference is this car, for example, has a 366-mile range, whereas the Mirai has only a 312, and it takes about 6 minutes to charge instead of 5 minutes, to refuel. It also has a 37-gallon carbon fiber, aluminum-lined carbon fiber tank. There's actually two tanks. There's a 31. It's a big, massive tank in the trunk area, which really shrinks the trunk size down. And then there's another 6-gallon underneath the rear seat. So it's a little bit different format. The other one had two 16s under the rear seat. This one is about 1.7 kilowatt battery pack underneath the front seats, whereas the Mirai is a 1.6. This car goes 0 to 60 about 8.5 seconds, which is a bit quicker. The Mirai was only about 9.5. This car weighs about 4,134 pounds, whereas the Mirai is about 4,075 pounds. This car has about 170 horsepower, 221 pounds of torque. It has a nice multi-link suspension in the back, as you can see. So actually, I was driving the car. It drives really nice. I mean, it drives kind of like an Accord. A nice, smooth, nice mid-size to full-size car. And of course, this is the hydrogen port right here, which is where you put in your hydrogen. That's the biggest limitation of the car, the expense of producing hydrogen, and also the availability of hydrogen to actually have it. So that's why it's limited to just a few markets in California. So just like the Mirai, the hydrogen tank needs to be replaced after 15 years. That's the lifespan of the tank. One thing that really set the two cars apart to me was the interior design. I really like the interior design of the Honda versus the Toyota. It's just a much more pleasant place to be, more quality materials, more conventional, just seems like easier to operate, just more conventional, like having the display right in front of you as opposed to the Prius style on the Mirai of having the display up in the center. Although this car had some unique parts to it as well, especially looking out the back. Wow, very roomy. It's like a full-size. Full-size, maybe mid-size car. Oh wow, this is kind of weird. It's got this partial shelf thing back here. There's like a little window looking out. It's bizarre. Down here and up here. The heads-up display is kind of cool. Kind of see it right there, floating in space. Well, that's a quick look at the 2017 Honda Clarity. I'm looking forward to when these cars become more widely available, taking one for a much longer test drive, much longer review, and do an actual in-depth review of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Definitely many more videos to come.